at Silverwood Lake, but we're actually at Deep Creek at Silverwood Lake. And there are a ton of wild edibles here. So to start off with, which Skyan had already found, she found stinging nettle. Stinging nettle is actually one of the most nutritious, healing wild edibles, but it does sting you. But you can simply grab off 2 of the little baby leaves, roll them up, get a mouthful of saliva, and eat it. The saliva helps break down the hairs so they don't get stuck in your throat. And since Skyan already got stung by it, I'm gonna chew this up and see if she wants to get some actually on her hand where it stung. Look at that frog! Next we have mugwort. And mugwort you cannot eat just raw, but you can make a tea out of it. And mugwort tea is great for hormonal imbalances, for your PMS, menses. If you are pregnant, do not take mugwort tea. It will make you go into contractions and into labor. But if you are close to the end of your pregnancy, you can take dried mugwort and make a smudge stick out of it. A lot of acupuncturists do a mugwort smudge stick around your pinky toe to help induce labor. But again, if you are pregnant, do not take mugwort tea. Here is blackberries. Blackberries. The thorns on these blackberries are crazy awful, but they're so delicious. And then right next to it is a whole stinging nettle patch. And blackberry leaves you can pick in the springtime before they start flowering, and they're great for teas. When the flowers come, those are edible, and then of course blackberries are delicious. So let's move on to some more edibles. I just put our blanket on top of watercress right here.
Watercress,
which I have not gotten brave enough to eat yet. So I'm still like double and triple checking that this is actually watercress. I think it is. This is spearmint because the leaves go into the shape of a spear rather than peppermint. So this is spearmint plant, wild. It's a whole field of it all the way down. Curly leaf dock is also a remedy for stinging nettles. So where there's stinging nettle, you will always find some sort of dock, which you can also ground up or chew up and a poultice and put it on stinging nettle as well, if you're not brave enough to use the actual stinging nettle on the cut. Feverfew will have little white daisy-like flowers come summertime, but the, whoops! At least I brought you dry clothes, and at least you're in your bathing suit. Good call on that.
At least I'm shivering cold.
Oh golly. Maybe just shake off. You can come lay on the blanket right here. All right, so Feverfew. I always use the little white flowers as a tea, and just like its name, it really does make your fevers few. So it's Feverfew, and it's for fevers and migraines. This is an all migraine medicine, is Feverfew. So it helps with the brain, with headaches, migraines, and fevers. So when you see little white daisy-like plants coming out of these scalloped leaf plants, I collect the flowers all summer long and save them and dry them. But I've also heard that the leaves are perfect as well. So, and these actually grow year long. They're pretty much evergreens. So in the winter, if you get a fever, if your child is sick, go and pick some Feverfew.
I found something.
So those are the wild edibles. And then I also want to just give a shout out to grass. Now, people don't often think that they can eat grass, but there's over 200 varieties of grass. And all of them are edible. So just like our dogs eat grass when they have stomach aches, it's definitely not something that you want to make a full meal out of, but nobody ever needs to go hungry, because once spring springs, there's always grass. So these are just a couple of the wild edibles that are found along Deep Creek in beautiful San Bernardino Mountains in Southern California. This place has taught me how to identify a lot of wild edibles. So if you go by a creek in your neighborhood, in your wild, wherever you are, start going and looking for the greens. They all have a different shape, they all have a different smell. It's a perfect way to start learning a few wild edibles and medicinals to add into your kitchen and into your life for health and happiness, really, because who doesn't want to be by a creek picking what makes them healthy?